Oh, okay, cool. We're going live. We're talking about Snowflame.
Well, this is just too good to keep off the air. I mean, talking about cocaine-powered supervillains. I mean, that's what the Gospel of Comics was founded on, right?
What? The fact that we don't have cocaine?
I mean, you might
The fact
not.
that we want cocaine?
No cocaine, unfortunately. Somebody have. Anyway, no. I mean, if you were, like I said, if you were a cocaine-powered supervillain, you wouldn't want any more meaning to life than that. You would already have it in being a cocaine-powered supervillain.
This is true.
So,
not that I advocate that people should become cocaine-powered supervillains, although I do think during the height of the cocaine cowboy wars, it would have been really more interesting if people put on fancy costumes and started trying to be supervillains.
I agree with that. During the drug war, it would have been a lot more exciting if you would have had like drug lords that fancied it up a little bit, dressed like pimps or something. Just dazzle it up. Make it fun when you get gunned down by, federal law enforcement agencies. Put on a show for the kids.
Maybe Snowflame has actually moved down to like Argentina and is a drug lord.
He's a humble coca farmer now.
Yeah. It's like, I retired from that supervillainy. I just make the stuff at the source.
Oh Jesus! What has this show become? I don't know. We're down in Ayrton. Larry had nowhere to be found. Just you and me, Rune. We're the only ones left.
I know. It's like the genocide has already happened. The decimation has come.
Right. Thanos snapped away half of the fucking cast.
Yes. Snapcast.
Oh, I saw a meme the other day that really made me feel old. It was about how, Thanos snapped, and those were the most important feelings that you had ever felt in cinematic superhero environment. But some of us grew up during the Green Ranger arc of the original Power Rangers, and for 5 episodes didn't know if a single guy with a dragon Zord and a dagger was going to control the entire fucking Earth or not.
See, I'm yet again here I go being fucking edgelord pain in the ass because I didn't like Power Rangers, but I will straight up tell you my you want to talk about feels, old man feels. The death of Dinobot and Beast Wars.
I don't think anybody wants to talk about old man feels.
No. The feelings. You
gotta pay extra for that, Joe.
No. The feelings of old people, not the feeling of old people.
I mean, we're planning for the full haul tonight, Darb. Like I said, if you're in the Discord and want to call in, let us know. We'll be around. We haven't even really gotten started yet. We're waiting on 2 people to show up. At least one of 2 people to show up.
I mean, and I'm waiting for my food to get here. I'm going to have to step away to get that. At some point, my mom's going to want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
All the life things.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder, Just beginning to wonder, but no. So, yeah, while we wait on Ayrton and Larry.
What do you wonder about?
What's on a Wonder Ball, for one? I think it's toys and candy, but nobody will tell me.
Seriously, putting the feels aside for a minute. Man, Death of Dinobot. That was a major thing.
I did love Beast Wars. Like, Beast Wars was something to me that felt like it was an entry point to Transformers from
Beast Wars is why modern cartoons suck. Because we've been spoiled. We've seen what good storytelling in our cartoons looks like. And then you fucking look at Steven Universe, and it's like, why? Why bother?
Yeah. But you can't... There were shitty cartoons when we were growing up, too. Just nobody talked about them.
Were. No, they absolutely were. I do not make friends when I point out in the current conversation about fucking Masters of the Universe that even though Kevin Smith's abortion is pretty bad, that no, you can't then turn around and put Funimation on a pedestal. The original He-Man cartoon was actually a half-hour-long toy commercial. Writing was a secondary concern. The fact it had good episodes and it was popular is a happy accident.
Here's the thing: when did it become illegal? Like, when did it become like just injustifiable to an 8-year-old to enjoy a 30-minute long toy commercial?
Never did. That's the thing.
Well, that's what people are bastardizing now. Like, why can't we just have more 30-minute long toy commercials and have toys that cost $5 again instead of $30 fucking for an action figure? I can't go and buy my son a Spider-Man action figure without making a fucking life-altering decision with my weekly paycheck, because the fucking action figure is $30 to $50, unless you just want something that arms move and the legs move and the head might pivot, but that's all you get.
I know. I'm again old man. I have or had ye old GI Joes, right? Not the original G.I. Joes, not like my father's G.I. Joes, which are basically Ken dolls with the balls. I mean, I had 80s G.I. Joes with like elbow and hip articulation and a head that turned.
Now let me old man out with you for a minute. Do you remember the shitty, cheap knockoff action figures that were held together with rubber bands and hooks?
Yes.
I love those fucking things.
But I saw
if you had a crochet needle, you could restring them together when you broke them, and you could mix and match.
But I remember maybe a decade ago now, because I am one of those creepy people. I will walk through the toy section of a store to see if there's cool shit.
Yeah.
Right.
All 30 somethings do that because toy companies have rightly so started marketing to us.
Right, and I see G.I. Joes on the shelf, and they look like those. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about the business. I'm not talking about the wrestling. I'm talking about the action figures. They look like those shitty WCW action figures with one fixed position that is basically flex.
Yeah.
You know? Right?
Yeah, like the old vinyl figures that, you could kind of move the arm a little bit as it slowly set back into place.
Yeah, right. And it's like, what is the thing? Well, it's a giant hunk of plastic with a nondescript army man with a huge murder grin, and it's like, I want my action figures not only to be actionable, but I'd like them to have a little personality. I actually like those little data files and backgrounds on like Duke and Lady Jane and Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes and what have you. To actually make me feel like I'm telling a story with my thing.
Well, here's the thing with the internet and the way it is, like, toy companies are missing out on a massive market by not marketing to my son instead of marketing to me. Because if you had that $5 Spider-Man action figure that instead of a trading card maybe had a little QR code card in it that you could scan once you bought that action figure, and that QR code that was in that action figure might correlate to some free-to-play game that was a shitload of other advertisements for every other property you fucking own.
Oh, you mean just do the Skylanders thing?
Yeah, but instead of doing it to Skylanders, like, you just do it with everything that your toy company makes.
Yeah. No, what I hate, this is tangential. This is not changing to a different subject, but it is related because we're talking about why are toys expensive now on the Gospel of Comics. I hate the collector's market. In particular, I hate those guys who have more money than God. They're like, I'm going to get 5 PlayStations. Yeah. And then I'm going to resell them on the auction house for triple their price. To the extent that it's not even for collectors anymore. It's literally, I'm just going to screw random people out of being conventional customers to make money.
And you know what? That's not, but people will look at that and say that's a failure of capitalism. It's not. It's a success of capitalism. It is a failure of the market to meet the supply that is demanded of their product. At no point should one of these fucking game console companies come out with such a limited supply and unable to fill the demand in the market, because they're the ones that make scalping a fucking thing.
Because they fucking profit off the scalping.
No, they don't.
They don't. No, they do in the sense that they still have to get their units sold.
Well,
right? The scalper buys the unit, and then they don't care what happens to it.
Yeah, obviously the units will sell, but here's the thing. If you had enough inventory to actually make sure people had an opportunity to buy, and we'll segue off of this topic now that Ayrton has finally fucking joined us. He's here, folks. And we can't hear him. He's lighting up and we can't hear him. What a motherfucker asshole.
I'm telling you, man. Fishing line in a cup. That's what he's using. So, if they made enough units to serve demand.
Go ahead.
I'm alive, motherfuckers.
And you're fired. Get out. I should just kick him right now.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Church.
Yeah,
that's the time.
Dude,
you got to use.
No,
clip.
It took me 20 goddamn minutes to get this back up and loaded and working. If you kick me, I swear to God, I will kick you so hard in the testicles.
You'll drive down to Arkansas, find my house that you don't know where it is,
and I will kick your testicles up into your nostrils.
Excellent.
That was not the direction I was going with that.
It was a fun direction to go, though.
I was saying.
God damn it! I swear to God, I'm about to stab this computer and commit Sudoku.
No, I was saying this is where Church should be using his favorite Trump clip.
Oh yeah, I just don't. I don't have the clips up at the moment. We haven't even started the show yet. Now that Ayrton's around, but to finish the point on scalping, the same thing happened several years ago when the Wii was released.
Oh, not that kind of scalping.
Not that kind of scalping, you prick.
Also, the French taught the natives how to do that, you racist prick.
Oh my God.
Oy vey! Wait, wrong French.
I am sorry.
Oh, anyway.
We escargot baguette.
We saw this same shit going on. I hate you all. We saw the same shit going on with the release of the Wii that Christmas when nobody could get their hands on one of those.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's exactly the thing. I remember when the Wii was coming out, people were like, "Chill, the Wii's gonna be so amazing." Excuse me.
You can't get.
Go get your food.
You couldn't get your hands on your Wii? Sounds like a personal problem.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll the intro now. God, I fucking hate you so much. Like, can we just have 1 week? I take a week off. And the show just goes to shit. Like, we just can't. We just fucking can't. If I don't do this shit every fucking week and you people just fucking lose it and don't even know how to handle yourselves.
Hey, you were the one that was rushing me to get in here.
I'm the one on drugs. For fuck's sake. I shouldn't have to be carrying this show. It's only got my name on it.
Right? Should we sing Ram Ranch?
There is a system which is known to man. A multiverse
as vast as eternity,
as
timeless as the infinity gems.
It is the middle
ground between the big two and the indie publishers,
between sci-fi
and mysticism,
and it lies
between the pages of the reader's imagination. At the summit of entertainment,
the dimension of comics.
As predicted, my mother needs me, so I'll be right back.
We call this service
the gospel of
comics.
Comics. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gospel of Comics. I am your host, the Church of Failure, and with me, as always, finally, is my trusty co-host, Ayrton McCartney, and soon to be with us, co-host Joe RuneKnight, helping his mom. What's going on, buddy?
Feel like ass. It's been a long-ass week.
You should see yourself in the mirror. Oh, there's a Denny. God damn, I really got to change the fucking locks on these doors.
You do, and why is Denny so loud in my ears? Jesus, fuck.
That's got something to do with you, homie. That's not me.
There we go. Now I can bear
How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Are we still in the intro?
We just ended it.
I haven't even finished the intro yet. I was getting ready to yell at Ayrton some more, and some vagrant stumbled in.
Oh well. I don't want to get in the way of you making fun of Ayrton. You can continue.
Oh no! Now I'm just gonna make fun of you. Go ahead.
No, I mean I got until the main event of UFC starts to be on this call. So
who's fighting tonight?
I don't know.
Oh, so you're watching and don't care.
Yeah, basically, it's not like Adesanya or any of the fighters that I give a shit about. So
You mean they're not rolling McGregor out for another fight this week?
like I give a shit about McGregor.
Hey, fuck you! I love McGregor. He's a prick.
I don't know. Ask me fucking 7 years ago, and I might have given a shit about McGregor.
I mean, what was that? The week before he fought Floyd Mayweather? It seemed like that goddamn long.
Well, that was the height of his popularity. So yeah, but this is a comics podcast, I believe.
I mean, they make comics about those guys now. It counts.
They made comics about those guys back then.
Yeah. So anyway, this is just a general come to Jesus show, basically.
Yeah,
if you have something you want to yell about.
Well, yeah, that's exactly why I was here, because I think while I'm here, while we're talking about stuff, while I have the opportunity, we need to talk about the greatest comic book ever made and its creator. We need to talk about Sonichu, the Electric Hedgehog.
Oh God, no!
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 Wait a minute, Denny! No!
It's a comic podcast, and that is a comic book.
No, if we're doing this, I'm going to need to get another beer. Hold on.
Well, you go do it.
I'm going to make my wife really mad at me and drink her wine again, I guess.
Man. What's everybody got to say? I mean, before I delve in, what do we have to say about, you know what I think? What I think is that Chris Chan is a brave soul.
Christine Chandler.
Oh shit, man! I just can't even pretend.
Oh no, you did this to you, Denny. You finished it. You finished the goddamn bit.
I'll talk about Christian Weston Chandler.
By the way, I grabbed 3 beers just to be on the safe side and hedge my bets.
I was gonna try and play this angle.
Do a Lord's Prayer and pour one out for me, Ayrton.
All right.
I cannot do it though. I cannot pretend to be the heel to stick up for on Chris Chan's side of this.
No, you are.
Hold on.
You have made your bed. Now you will lay in it, Denny.
Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna go down to the store. I
support Christian.
I saw that Mad Dog has a new product out where they basically put their
rape your mother. They rape your senile mother.
Yeah. And watch with the R word if you don't mind. You're on my channel.
They sexually assault your senile mother.
Yeah, that's what Mad Dog does. Apparently, they've been working with Chris Chan on a collaboration. Oh Jesus! No, I threw up in my mouth when I first heard about that. Like I saw the internet explode over it, and I thought that I was going to make it through a show without talking about it, and then your ass came in here and started it, and I hate you more than I ever have.
Hey, Sonichu is a comic book. Sonichu is,
and that's a lot, Denny. Denny, do you know how much I've hated you before?
It's an indie comic, whether you want to.
But it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the topic you want to talk about.
Wart the Wizard. You said and more. You said and more in your fucking description of things to talk about.
This is not the and more than anyone wants.
If Wart the Wizard counts as a fucking comic book that can be discussed on here, then so does fucking Chris Chan Sonic.
Hey, that was your frog daddy that made that happen. Don't come to me about fucking Wart the Wizard.
I've told you before. I've abandoned the idea of some kind of brand in this. I think now the idea is support books you like, but that's a different discussion. Support the books you like and piss on the books you don't because they deserve to be pissed on, and that's the way it should be. That's the way a free market operates. But I don't know if that's a different discussion. I want to talk about the mongoloid man-child that raped his mom.
Yeah, well, that's not a conversation. That's not a conversation that anybody else here wants to have. So say your piece, and we're going to move on.
Audience, I don't know how many of you are listening.
There's one in the audience, and they've all left because of you.
They have not left because of me. Oh my God, Church! This is the most interesting thing you could possibly be talking about this week, and it directly falls under comic book news.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty
But it
sure
also-
everyone
it
else
also-
on the internet has talked about this. It's not my bag.
Yeah, this is the only appropriate time to talk. If you try and talk about this in a fucking month, you're gonna be a loser. We need to talk about it now.
I don't
We
want
need
to talk
address
about it
now.
ever.
I should not have to convince you this hard to talk about something interesting.
It's disgusting. It's deplorable. Everyone involved should fucking Sudoku themselves.
So is the fucking Children of God cult, but people still talk about it because it's fucking interesting. John Wayne Gacy is disgusting and deplorable, but people know who John Wayne Gacy is because it's fucking interesting. What, Ayrton? What, Ayrton? What do you want?
I am going to put a butt plug in your mouth to shut you up. Listen.
Well, that will do nothing because it won't be snug. You need ball game. You fucking know.
Oh God.
Hey, Danny. Listen, bullets are too expensive for us to all off ourselves on air right now. That's why we're not talking about it. Do you have any idea what the price of ammo is right now?
All right, until I leave, let me conduct the conversation.
Absolutely.
About Weston
you
Chandler.
say your piece. You can say whatever you want. It's just nothing we want to talk about.
I'm going to be the impromptu, unofficial, not trying to impede on anybody's territory host of this segment of the show where we talk about Christian Weston Chandler.
Now, hold on. Let me pull my dick out. Let me pull my dick out real quick.
No, this is a side
now,
show. This is
why is this?
church.
Why is this an interesting topic for? Like, this is just like
it's
okay. Let me.
It's watching the car wreck, man.
No. You want to talk about this being an interesting topic? Okay, let me spread this out for you.
Give you an answer.
A mentally handicapped person.
Give you an answer.
A mentally handicapped person sexually assaults their disabled mother. And they're locale on the internet and followed by some of the most deplorable people who exist online. What part of that actually is interesting?
Well, okay, so I'm going to tell you. If you let me talk, Jesus.
Well, you weren't letting anybody else talk, so, you know.
Because this is my segment now.
I think we've proven who has the bigger dick here.
I really admit I am one of those deplorables.
You know what? Okay, so I was going to give you a joke answer, but here's actually an earnest answer. Why is it interesting? Because Chris Chan is actually, possibly, arguably, the most documented person in human history. Given the internet
disgusting.
age, no, just let me finish now.
Okay.
Everything, like, considering everything we know about him, there's no other person. I mean, not Jeffrey Epstein, not Bill Clinton, not Hillary Clinton, not
their status as a locale and the construction of Kiwi farms to follow their movements, basically. Prove your point.
Any famous king or queen, not any duke or duchess.
Get to the weenie.
I'm in the middle of something here.
Get to the weenie.
Okay, so he's the most documented person in human history. So you can actually look through and see from his childhood,
except our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
No, he's more documented than the life of the Lord Jesus Christ. He absolutely is. I'm not saying he's better. I'm saying he's more documented than the life of the Lord Jesus Christ. He's the most documented person in human history, almost without a doubt. I mean, maybe some historian can make an argument. But you can trace the pathology of all of this from the time when he was just an autistic child with elderly, out-of-touch parents that indulged him too much, the way up to the time period.
When did the fascination with Chris Chan actually start? That is a legitimate question.
With me? When did I become
no.
fascinated?
Overall, like what age was this person when the internet started documenting them?
When the internet started to document Chris Chan, I would say he was either 20 or maybe in his early 20s, 22 tops, when the internet actually started to connect the pieces. But what's super interesting
can I throw you a bone real quick, Danny?
What?
So I will actually agree,
because you're kind of distracting from the point I was about to make, but you can go
ahead.
No,
I was going to say I do actually agree with you that Chris Chan is a super interesting character, because I've totally watched all 46 parts of Geo Samuel's
before Gino even existed, I somehow became aware of this hypersped on the internet, and to answer Church's question, yeah, I would say the time that all the pieces started to connect was around the time Chris was like 20, 22, somewhere within that range. But even before that, Chris had been featured on the news. Chris had been featured in newspapers. Chris was featured in the fucking, I think was it New Yorker or New York Times or something about that article.
I think it was the New Yorker.
Okay, yeah, but and beyond that, when Chris was a teenager, just showing up at the mall, sending out his fucking weird love quest signals. People would get on forums and talk about this weird fucking dude. I'm working at PacSun. I'm 17. My name's Cindy, and I work at PacSun. And this weird dude, this weird sweaty dude, kept pacing back and forth in front of the store, throwing wads of paper at us that said he was on a love quest. It like that existed years and years before anybody would connect the pieces to that being Christian. That alone is interesting, that this man would not stop appearing in the public consciousness until people became aware this man exists and it's the same person. Like, that alone is fascinating.
Anyway. I'll agree with you on that point.
All right, so
I'm just interested in the disparity. 1938, Hitler is Man of the Year. 2021, Chris Chan is locale of the year.
Settle down there, novel bro. All
right. All right. Chris Chan is now almost 40. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get interested in this.
Well, right. So I'm trying to give you a reason to. And that's what I'm saying. Can you think, like, people are interested in serial killers, and people are interested not even in serial killers, but people that have just been notoriously weird and done weird shit. People look at that and document that. And Chris Chan is worthy of that as much as anybody else throughout history is. And part of why that's so compelling and so interesting is we can look at everything he's ever done. There's nobody in history you can look at everything they've ever fucking done and see why they became the way they are. It's as close as you'll ever get to stepping into the mind of another man.
It's really true. I mean, you have to look at like Marilyn Manson, Ozzy Osbourne, Syd Barrett. Like, you kind of have the same thing in, like, you know, the music realm.
Holy shit, there's a TV show?
About what?
Chris Chan.
What?
No.
Yes.
Where?
Chris Chan, A Comprehensive History documentary, 2018.
Yeah, that's the YouTube series.
Yeah,
is it?
Are you on IMDb right now? That's the
YouTube
series.
I'm googling, trying to figure out information about this band.
That's the Geo Samuels guy. That's Gino Samuel.
Okay,
Gino Samuel. Yeah.
Okay.
I've watched. He's on what, like part 43, 45, something like that.
Oh
I've watched
God.
I've watched all of them.
He's in like the year 2018. There's not that much more to cover until he has to talk about this.
Well, here's the thing, though.
He just streamed that he's taking a break from that.
Well, I don't fucking blame him. I mean, if you're Gino Samuel, do you really want to touch something this hot right now?
Let me step in here as somebody
on inside the actor's studio.
As somebody who, like, I'm not an internet person per se. Like, we do this show, and I have a Twitter.
Are you not fully aware of? Like, do you want me to give you a
no?
Breakdown?
Let me finish my thought. I have heard and seen the name Chris Chan thrown around, but I was already like familiar with what a lolcow was and had no interest in them. Like these Amberlynn Reeds.
Chris is the person that invented
I've always understood that. I've always understood that, but what I thought is that this person was like a fucking Super Saiyan 4 DSP.
No. Okay, so all right.
Well,
you know what? No, okay, hold on. And I okay, so I don't mean to be an asshole, but I am going to ask that everybody just hold your comments for a second while I give Church an extremely abridged breakdown of who Chris Chan is and why he is actually I mean, Chris Chan, without
Perfect
Chris
timing.
Chan,
I have to take a piss.
Without Chris Chan, internet law, like the laws on internet restrictions probably wouldn't be the way they are. Like, and that's not an understatement. Like Chris Chan is actually extremely important to like internet history and lore. So allow me to give you, Church, since you aren't fully aware, allow me to give you and anybody else a quick abridged summary of who Chris Chan is. So Chris Chan is an extremely autistic person who was raised by two elderly, inept people that refuse to see Chris as disabled. It's a pride thing for them. So they insist Chris is normal for the majority of his life, for all of his formative years. Chris in high school is tasked to make a project about a fictional character, like a magazine, a comic book, something like that.
This is where Sonichu comes from.
Yes. So Chris wanted to
I'm
make
familiar with I'm familiar with, you know, Pikachu and Sonic having a baby.
Yeah.
And
So well, no, that's not exactly how
I know that's not the lore of the character, but
I said withhold your questions.
And I never agreed to those terms.
Okay. So anyway, Chris wanted to make a comic about Sonic, but his teacher told him that he couldn't because that's a copywritten character. So Chris developed his own. Well, what if Sonic and Pikachu were mixed? What if it was like a combination of the two? That avoids copyright, right? It doesn't. By the way, it doesn't do that.
No,
but Chris thought it did. So he made the Sonichu. It passed for his class or whatever. But Chris really became enamored with the idea of Sonichu. And so he makes this comic. He starts making I don't know if it was GeoCities. It was some, he might have even coded it.
Or whatever.
Well, he might have even coded it himself, and it might have been a legitimate HTML. I don't exactly know. But he made a website to start displaying his Sonichu. This started to get noticed. Meanwhile, in real life, Chris is desperate for a woman. Chris is desperate for his real life romance. So he's going on these real life adventures to his mall, to his community college, to his game store, and doing all this weird shit. Like he would tie a string to a ball, like a piece of red paper that he had written like a love letter onto, and he would like toss that out and wait for someone to pick up the ball of red paper so he could reel in the woman who had picked it up to read it. And shit like, and he was always getting in trouble with like mall security, people at the community college administration.
Yeah, you can't usually go around and harass women like that.
Right.
Like, people tend to frown on that.
It's so bizarre. It's so weird that when you see somebody doing it, you can't help but go to an internet forum and write about this weird fucking dude. And that's the thing that happened with Chris Chan. Everyone that had seen this fucking weirdo in their area doing this weird shit went to internet forums to write about it. Meanwhile, Chris is running his own website about his weird, diluted webcomic about a character he believes he owns. And people eventually put together the pieces just because that's no like understatement. That is how weird Chris was. As think about how big the internet is and how many different forums there are. People were talking and discussing about how weird of a man this was on so many different forums that people started to connect the dots. Wait, this dude was talking about Sonic the Hedgehog? Wait, this dude was wearing a pendant? Wait, this dude was in a striped polo? They all started to connect the pieces and realize this is the same fucking lunatic. And that is really where Chris Chan's troll base started. That's where the idea of this community of trolls that are triggering Chris Chan came from. And I mean, again, this is supposed to be an abridged version of Chris Chan's history. So I'll just say they've gone as far as to make Chris Chan have sex with a sex doll on camera, drink his own cum, shove his Sonichu amulet up his ass, tell his parents about his sexual exploits with his sex doll.
I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. They've trolled Chris Chan into real life situations where Chris thought he was going to meet a real girl, where in fact it was a troll, and another troll would show up and steal that girl dressed in a pickle costume because Chris was extremely homophobic. And Chris was afraid of pickles because pickles symbolized penises, and penises mean you're gay. Chris hates men. Chris hates all men. Chris has always hated all men, straight, gay, whatever. Because Chris believes that all the straight men are stealing all the women away from him. That's why women will be with it.
So we have an overview of what a psychopath this person. Well, not even a psychopath. What a broken individual this person is. So go ahead.
And it's partially due to his parents. I honestly, there's so much to talk about with Chris Chan. I don't understand how you cannot find this portrait of a human being interesting. It is literally delving into a man's soul.
There's a reason.
Looking at what made him what he is. That is the most fascinating thing that I can think of.
To me, Denny, it all boils down to one thing, and that is, at no point should a human being be subjected to basically being a live zoo exhibit. Like, that's just not good psychologically for him.
See, but I mean, and I can agree with you, but here's the thing: Chris refused to be anything else. Chris had
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that this person gave any other alternative for their own. Like, I'm not saying this person wasn't self-destructive or mentally unstable enough to make that decision for themselves. I'm saying that to be part of the audience antagonizing these people and feeding into that. I mean, look at what it fucking leads to. The guy sexually assaulted his own mother, allegedly.
I don't think that that's the audience's fault. I think beginning to blame the audience for that is the absolute wrong point of view.
And
I think if you're
hold on, stop.
Hold on. Well, you were taught you made a generalized point about why Chris is the way he is. I'll say the people that tried to shield Chris, the people that tried to help him the most, people like Kiwi Farms, people like Josh Knoll, people that went out of their way to, I'm gonna buy Chris's stupid golden coins. I'm gonna buy his fucking illustrations that he's not gonna send me. I'm gonna buy this and that so Chris has money to continue living his life. So Chris thinks that being a psychopath is a profitable way to continue living. So Chris thinks that there's nothing wrong with him and everything is fine and the way he lives life is normal and his delusions are actually like popular and people like them. People like when he's a fucking lunatic and people will give him money for it. Those people are responsible for turning Chris into the monster that he is.
And those people are his audience.
Monster that he is. No,
that's the point that I just made. Yes, they are.
Those people are not Chris's audience.
So they don't watch him, but they give him money.
People that look at Christopher as a case study, people that look, that's his birth name, by the way. Christopher decided an animatronic bear at the mall was going to give him the name Christian, by the way. That's where he gets it from. That's how fucking insane he is. His parents should have gotten him the help he needed.
I don't disagree with that.
They as much as Noel, as much as Kiwi Farms, as much as any troll on the internet, indulged Chris's delusion that he is a normal man. He can live a normal life. And everything is going to be fine. No, I'm not done. Because this is the point. This is the important point that I'm trying to make. Is
you can stop talking down while you make it, Denny.
Well, what
starting to piss me off when you come on here and talk down to me like I'm a fucking idiot.
I ain't talking down to you. What I'm saying is it's not people like me that acknowledge that Christopher is flawed and things are wrong with him. We're not the problem. It's people that won't acknowledge that Christopher is wrong, that things are wrong with him and he needs help.
And if you would have let me make my
problem.
Can I speak on my show now?
I'm done.
First off, when I'm trying to make a point, and I have to yell over you over and over and over and over again just to get cut off again, really not the best look. Secondly, if you would have let me finish my point, it is the people who observe, who support, who garner this reaction from this person, whether it be by trying to shield him from the trolls or by actively antagonizing him. Everyone involved in making this person a human spectacle is equally deplorable in my eyes. Not a personal attack on you or anyone else who enjoys watching this shit, but to me, it just seems like an immoral thing to do. People are watching other people shove food in their faces on these mukbang channels, and they're going to kill themselves because people are actively encouraging them to do it, and human beings just don't have enough self-control. Look at fucking Shoe Nice. People threw money at that guy until he destroyed his fucking brain and liver. I mean, I'm trying to explain why I don't find this interesting, why I don't appreciate the type of mentality surrounded the lolcow culture, is that it dehumanizes people. People are people. They deserve as much respect as you want to be given from them. And when we turn a person into a zoo exhibit, they lose their humanity. We're sitting here talking about a human being who has gone through horrendous shit that you just listed off. And it's like just a topic of conversation on the internet, and that's supposed to be okay. It's not like we're talking about a person anymore. We're talking about a fucking case study. This is a human being who assaulted another human being.
It is a case study. It is a case study.
It shouldn't be. It never should have been allowed to be.
It should be. The people that aren't treating it like it's a case study, the people that are treating it like it's normal, like you said, I mean, I'm not trying to cut you off on your show or whatever, but I will say that I come on here and I'm treated like a clown a lot, and I play into it because that's the role that I play on the show. But now I'm trying to make a serious point, and I'm treated like I'm being an asshole for cutting you off, and I don't really appreciate that because I am trying to make a serious point. But if you want to talk, you and I are saying the same exact fucking.
That's my whole point, and you yelled over me telling me I wasn't. That's what upset me about it.
Church, that's not what I said. And I mean, quite frankly, I put up with a lot of fucking bullshit when I come on here because everybody treats me like the fucking clown. But you know as well as I do, I got real shit to say. And if you want me to be serious, I can. If you don't want me to play into the persona, I won't. If you want to get serious about it, then we can do that.
I didn't want to talk about this fucking topic in the first place. You came on here very insistent about it.
I'm coming on here to be fun and make a joke, and you're trying to make it some serious fucking conversation.
It's not something I wanted to talk about.
If you want to talk about the serious implications of lolcows and Christian and all that, I can do that with you. I was trying to make jokes and
I didn't want to talk about Christian at all because this makes me uncomfortable, Denny. The whole concept of it makes me uncomfortable as a person. It makes me feel things that I don't want to feel when I'm supposed to be having a good time. That's why I didn't want to have this conversation. That's why I tried to cut it off when you first started talking about it.
I hate to be the one to have to tell you this, Church, but that's fucking running a show. You're not always talking about shit.
Okay, well, this is also running a show.
An audience is supposed to find
this is also running a show. I'm sorry.
All right, kick me. I don't.
Jesus fucking Christ. Well, I'm sorry for that unpleasantness, ladies and gentlemen, but there's a certain point in time when I don't want to fucking talk about it. I mean, am I wrong?
I mean, I was hoping we weren't going to talk about it because I agree.
Did I not say when he first brought it up that I didn't want to talk about this?
No, you did.
Did I not make it abundantly clear that this is not on the topic of discussion? This is not something
I straight up said I didn't want to talk about it.
Everyone here said they didn't want to talk about it. Okay, and then I tried to give an inch. And I love Denny. I love Denny to death. His artwork is on every one of my streams. I hope that we can have a private conversation and smooth this out. But I just no. Nobody here wanted to talk about that shit.
Look. My thing to draw close to this and get onto actual comics, or even going back to talk about the Wii, I don't care. Is I do in fact consume in a passive way cringe. It amuses me sometimes. So I am passingly familiar with this material. But I'm also well aware that, like, this is dark and awful.
Exactly.
And is therefore not a thing that I necessarily want to go into inordinate depth about. It's watching a car accident. Right. Except I'm not diverting traffic by slowing down and being an asshole in front of someone else. Because I know that when there's a car accident, you maintain speed. Do not slow down and cause a bigger problem.
Can I throw something in? Just
absolutely.
Please do.
Okay. Please. So I find it fascinating just because I have a sibling who is handicapped, and it is kind of a psychological, philosophical case study, but it doesn't mean it's something I want to talk about on air, because it's a really dark and heavy topic.
Okay,
and this is supposed to be a fun show. That's why I didn't want to talk about it.
That's part of the reason there. And as a final point on it, like I said, and I meant no disrespect to Denny, just it's more than I want to talk about. Like if that's running a show, then I don't want to run a show anymore. If that's like there's a reason that I don't give a shit that we have one viewer right now. I don't give a fuck. Like, I wanted to talk about shit with my boys. I don't want to talk about things that make me uncomfortable. And this Chris Chan shit, it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people, and that's not the vibe we go for.
I'm not kidding when I say what I said in our side convo. We've got, this is why I like dark fictional material. The reason I like dark role-playing games is because evil gets punished. Even if it wins, it doesn't get everything. It's not like a happy ending for the bad guy, because it's like, oh look, all the sacrifices you made, was it worth it?
Right.
And on a certain level, this means fundamentally that the concepts of good and evil, right and wrong, exist. Because in the world that I exist in, things like this can happen, and there is no... There's all kinds of moral assertions, but there is no direct, reciprocity about it. That person's going to go on and continue to exist.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I don't want to necessarily think about that. I don't want to think about a world where this is to someone somewhere in some fashion, quote unquote, okay.
Well, it's not. And like I said, I want to kill the topic. I mean, I'm already fucking shot for the rest of the fucking show. Like, I'm in a bad mood. But...
let's let us harness your anger, because it's there. Tell us about Flash Season 7.
No, actually, Rune, I want you to yell. Why don't you tell us about I'm Not Starfire?
Okay.
By all means.
So, no, I seriously, Church and I were talking about this just before show, and I was like, oh, well, actually, we kind of I had it out in the chat, and I've had time to cool off.
Well, but actually...
No. I saw a post by Nerdrotic, of all people, that has restored my outrage. Okay? I want to find this authoress. I don't want to do her physical harm. I just want to know who the fuck she thinks she is, that she can suggest that she could write fucking Shakespeare better than Shakespeare.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
I need context for this.
All right. Let me walk you through this. So Shakespeare, writing fiction in the 14th century. Okay.
Yes, I know that bit.
Yeah, no, this is pertinent. Okay.
Okay.
His depiction of women, influenced by his time, not a modern author.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even so, specifically, the character of Ophelia is basically a dreamy teenager, because she's all of like 16. Right? Freaking out because her boyfriend is losing his shit because Hamlet's playing crazy, because his dad got murdered. Right? Contextually, all of this makes sense, and she commits suicide, and that's sad.
Which, Hamlet, I just want to say, is my favorite Shakespeare play.
Right, so let's walk through this. I missed it when I read the book. I missed it when I read I Am Not Starfire, presumably because my brain was trying to save cells. Okay? But there's a scene in which, Fatty Nose Ring, is supposedly doing homework with her, not my girlfriend, but I'm really into her, right? And this is the conversation. I mean, what if instead of like mental illness, which is kind of a messed up way of putting it, we just do Ophelia, like write about her, like a new interpretation. Yeah, like I feel like the play would be better if Ophelia was written by a woman. Fuck!
Wait. Can you link this to me?
Absolutely, I will share this image.
I did
Let's
not
get this. Get this image on the stream. Everyone needs to see this.
Because
everyone needs to see this.
Shakespeare or Hamlet isn't about Ophelia. It's about fucking Hamlet.
Right. But here we are asserting let's put a side character either as the main character, which could work actually in a piece, right? Or just rewrite her because only a vagina can describe how a vagina feels. Apparently.
Wait, what?
Think about it. That's what they're saying.
What? No, I'm looking at the image. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, put it on the stream. Show the world. So, solidify this for posterity. Everyone needs to see this stupidity.
But the point of Hamlet is a man coming up and having to deal with having all of this responsibility and stuff thrust upon him suddenly. That's the point of it, and him not being able to deal with it properly.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Let's think about this for a minute, okay?
That's the story of Hamlet. It has nothing to do with Ophelia.
But wait a minute. Let's think about this objectively for a minute in what the feminist author wants to say. Seriously, okay? Right?
She's saying Hamlet's struggle and this allegory of how men deal with shit doesn't matter, and that it should be about this random chick that he wants to bone because feminism and vagina.
Right. Think about it. Hamlet as written, right?
Yeah.
Ophelia is not a bad person.
No.
She's not a weak character. She's a young person coming into her own. Her entire life, she has been carefully...
is Hamlet.
Wait a minute. She is a person who, for her entire life, was being carefully curated and prepared for the exact purpose of marrying Hamlet. Right? Right? Her entire identity is wrapped up in being Hamlet's girlfriend. And now Hamlet's going crazy, so she's going crazy, and she commits suicide. This isn't bad writing that would be improved by writing by a female. This is excellent writing that actually shows how Ophelia is a fucking victim of the political play going on around her that she doesn't even know exists.
Well, and that she's codependent, doesn't have like a identity of her own.
This is actually,
if you want to analyze her as a secondary character, that's what's happening with her.
That makes this genius. And this person's like, oh, I'm gonna undo this genius because it's not current year. It's like, are you fucking retarded? And then the answer is, I am not Starfire, so the answer is yes.
I just want to unpack something completely different real quick.
Sure.
Take the words on this image out of the equation and just take a look at this image, okay?
Yeah,
we have an author's self-insert.
I was gonna get to that, but go ahead.
We have an author's self-insert character as the main titular character, right? And this is one of those creators that believes that we need more realistic body types and expectations and things of that nature in comics. Okay, well, as a purveyor of what the real world is, the author's self-insert character really has an attractive girlfriend, doesn't she?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean,
for shitty art,
Here's the thing, because I read the book. Okay,
may God bless your soul.
They aren't a couple, right?
Yeah,
but she really wishes they were a couple.
Yes, but that's her desire. That's what she wants to be with, right?
Right.
So the idea of a character looking like Starfire, even though there are women that look like her in the world, is bad. But she still wants to be with a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Huh. Almost like there's a goddamn double standard.
it gets fucking hilarious. Because
sorry, I just wanted to point that's the first thing that jumped out at me is just we have to have hyper realism and everything. Except,
like I said,
my girlfriend's got to be hot.
My realization over time wasn't that I was mad at this thing for existing, although I am, right?
As you should be.
I'm mad at it for not being the story it should have been, right? It's actually missing an entire scene that would have turned this from garbage to actual art. Okay? And it doesn't even need a man. It's not a mansplaining situation. It's not a situation where she needs punched in the face. It is a situation.
Now listen, any females listening, just sit down, sweetheart. Let us explain this to you.
Exactly.
Why aren't you making sandwiches right now?
It is a situation where what was needed was Starfire to lose her fucking jelly. Right? I mean, the character's name is Starfire. Not Star Mellow. Okay. Corey, because this character's actual name, has had a lifetime of fucking tragedy in comics. Which this author completely ignores, instead focusing on the superficial of she's beautiful like a supermodel and has powers. Right? Never even addresses or comments on the idea that Starfire, has a job where she goes out and risks her life every day, missing baseball games, birthday parties, struggling to try and meet all of those little namby-niddly parental obligations you're supposed to meet, right? Throughout the entire book, she's attentive, she's interested, she only wants the best for her kid, and I get it. The kid is like, I don't know how to talk to my parent, and I'm struggling. Right? But she uses that as a fucking weapon to just shit on her mom repeatedly, and they never, ever does anyone look at her and say, you stuck-up little cunt, at any time. And then, spoiler alert for a book no one's reading, at the end, she just, when she's going to get murderized by her aunt, because Blackfire's a fucking psycho, that's when she discovers her powers, that's when she gets to go be a Titan, that's when she gets to go be trained directly. So she's in fact rewarded for her shitty behavior after 2/3 of brutality on a character. That's not cool.
Wait, so this story is a wham, my parents don't understand me?
It's a wham, my parents don't understand me, how hard it is to be me living in this world with every advantage. Why can't I just have my gay best friend and my super hot girlfriend and everything handed to me?
So, okay, how old is the bitch who wrote this?
Oh, she's in her fucking 30s. She's an adult.
So she's somewhere around mine and Church's age, right?
Or a little older, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
I would go with older.
Okay, just for sake of argument, we'll say a couple years older than me and Church. Do you guys know the last time
You realize that would just make her Rune's age, right?
I'm 39. There you go. Boom.
Okay.
Whatever.
So in between us. Anyways. So
37? What are you what are you going for here?
This is all numbers. What do you want?
It doesn't matter. Okay, whatever. The specific number doesn't matter. Anyways, the point is,
this is a grown-ass woman. Say it.
Yes. A grown-ass woman who is having thoughts that I had at 15.
Right?
Well, see, here's the thing.
What is wrong with this hoe?
Here's the thing.
Does she just need her pussy eaten properly?
No, this has come up in multiple media. Hit
up my DMs, girl.
Wait. This came up in multiple media. This came up in New She-Ra. This is coming up in D&D with a current edition accessory called Strict Haven.
That's crazy, man. Have you ever tried D&D?
Yes, I have tried. But here's the thing: there's this strong push from the young writers or the neophyte talents or whatever to relive their youth in an idealized format, because we obviously what the consumer wants is to go to prom, right? but not just their own shitty prom. They want to go to a version of the prom where they get to be the cool guy. Okay? And I always say the same thing. I didn't go to prom. I didn't want to go, and I'm glad I missed it. I didn't go to my reunion, because I'm actually not allowed on the property.
Wait, hold on.
Let's not skip over that topic.
Yeah. Oh, you can't just kickflip over that.
No, it's true. It's 100% true. I cannot go to my high school. I'm not allowed. They've probably forgotten, but it's great.
Okay, why?
Okay, so I have always been shitty at math, and I was in remedial math, and it was mostly bullshit.
Okay.
Right? So I'm sitting there with my friends, and we're bullshitting, and we're talking, and I have just seen Fight Club. Okay, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Fight Club." Blah blah. Like, no. I'm good at remembering. I'm good at remembering
like that since.
I'm good at remembering. Yeah, but I'm good at remembering bits that are not the usual bits, right? So I lean over to a friend and I proceed to quote Ed Norton talking to his boss when he's found doing Fight Club letterhead on company Xerox machines, right? And it's like, look, whoever wrote this, you want to forget who
dangerous man.
Because this is a dangerous man. The kind of man that will come to your office and go from cubicle to cubicle with a high-powered rifle, unloading round after round into unsuspecting co-workers. And everybody thought it was funny. Unfortunately, because Joe's an idiot,
except your principal.
No, because Joe's an idiot. I didn't put together that it's like, Joe, this is maybe a week and a half after Columbine. Maybe you don't make these jokes. So here's the thing. Teacher who we will call bro teacher says, Joe, don't say that kind of shit. Like,
did he ask you if you've ever tried D&D?
No. Like, Joe, don't say that kind of stuff, man. You know, recent events. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, right? Bitch teacher, right? Overheard it, didn't say anything to me. Went to the principal, reported me, right? I get called to the principal's office. I'm like, what the fuck's this? Okay, I'll go to the principal's office. There's a cop there. Right? They're like, hi, we're removing you from school. We're removing you from class. I'm like, okay, you know, it's like 2 weeks till finals. Do I get to do this? Like, no, you don't get to negotiate this. I'm like, okay. Right? The cop asked me, like, son, do you have any weapons on your person? I'm like, I got a pocket knife. He's like, yeah, you want to reach for that? He puts his hand on his fucking gun. Like, I'm fucking Pablo Escobar. I'm going to pull out a fucking machete. I'm like, okay. So I pull out this pocket knife that I had found that day. Okay? It was this absolutely rusted piece of shit somebody abandoned on the schoolyard that I hadn't figured out how to dispose of yet. So I just pull it out and I put it in front of him like it's a fucking artifact of great import. I'm like, there you go. Right? And they drive me home and they present me to my parents who are, I shit you not, watching Gandhi with Ben Kingsley. Right? And they're like, Joe, why are you home? It's like, oh, they think I have a gun. And my parents are like, oh, really? It's like, yeah. So the cop says, can I see his room? It's like, okay. So I walk him to my room, I open it, and my room is a mess. Why is my room a mess? Because my old man had a propensity for getting in Dutch on the bills and selling off property. So he would sell my furniture, right? So I got all my shit everywhere. And I'm like, if you can find a gun, officer, I will be impressed.
It was up your butt, wasn't it?
No,
I didn't have a gun.
Rune, I just want to point out to the audience, you're the one here who doesn't do drugs.
True. 100% true. So
this is what not doing narcotics and alcohol gets you, folks. Have another beer on me.
So here's the thing. My mom apparently got on the phone. And you know it's always bad when my mom calls the school. But my folks didn't like meeting my dad because they assumed he was going to be violent, which he never was. Okay. Right? But they were dumb enough to think that my mom was a soft touch. My mom was the scary person. The PTA hated my mom because my mom would fuck up their day. My mom was good at paperwork and my mom was good at social network. My mom was in telemarketing for decades. She was a supervisor. She knew how to own people's shit. Right? And yeah, after that long weekend, I got to go back to school. And I got to do my finals. But then I was informed, it's like, yes, and you're not allowed back on the campus property, otherwise you will be removed. It's like, okay, I didn't want to be here anyway. And that is still true. That has never changed. I didn't go to homecoming. I didn't go to prom. The only middle and high school event I ever gave half a shit about that I actually went to was the Halloween dance because you got to go in costume. That's it. Right? So anytime somebody's like, oh, I'm going to do a property and I'm going to relive my glory days in high school, it's like, I don't like 16 candles. I don't like the... all of this stuff is bullshit.
I mean, how did we end up...
Molly Ringwald was pretty hot.
Liking Molly Ringwald and liking 16 Candles are two different things.
I just want to know how we ended up here. Like, how did we get here?
Because this is the mentality of the author. What the author has done is she has written a self-insert where she gets to be mean to her mom. Right?
He just goes right back to the topic.
Where she gets
as if the detour never happened.
Where she gets to have the ideal fucking girlfriend. Where she has a supportive gay best friend who's a fucking manlet.
I'm all getting another beer, by the way.
I want to be clear. Other gay people would hate this little queen. Okay, I'm not advocating for gay-on-gay violence. I'm just saying it happens.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, with Rune with the gay review of the week.
Hey,
RuneKnight, Joe speaking for the gays.
Hey, look.
Oh,
I am a stated bisexual.
I know.
But I prefer women. Okay, but it's pertinent.
Wait. Hey, what do they call a gay person in France?
Royale with cheese? I don't know.
No, something I can't say on stream, or we'll be or will be deleted.
Look, because I actually said this in a conversation about this character, this skinny gay person that is not on the that we have not mentioned with the side shave comb.
Yeah.
Is
which sorry, can we all agree that is the worst hairstyle to come out of the past 8 years?
It's not new, and I've always said the same thing. It looked really
That's why
cool.
I said 8 years.
But I always say it looked really cool in the 90s when it was for Cyberpunk, because that was the side you put your ports on.
I just want to point out that I had this haircut in the 90s, and it was called an undershave, and nobody thought you were cool for having it.
But no, the thing is like I straight up say it's like I prefer women, but if I'm gonna take the D, I want it to be Vin Diesel. Okay, he's getting a little long in the tooth, but he's still a handsome man to me.
Okay? On that note, you've ever seen The Flash season 7?
I don't know. I'd say Morgan Freeman, just because if
you want Morgan Freeman, you want Morgan Freeman pulling on that ponytail and going titty sprinkles?
Well, yeah. I mean, Morgan Freeman has a sexy ass voice. Like that's what I
was gonna say. You want to hit it from the back, saying titty sprinkles, titty sprinkles.
Exactly.
No, here's the thing. You want to give Morgan Freeman a blowjob and have him narrate it. That's what you want.
Yes.
Oh, yes. This is the best thing I've ever felt in my entire life. Lord Jesus. I can barely contain my excitement for the feel of this young man's mandible wrapped around my member.
You did that way too well.
Oh God. It's the curse of being quick, Ayrton. It's the curse of being quick.
It's quite effective.
It sounds like the curse of Thick Moranis.
Oh, that was
it's
good.
Quite effective when you jiggle the undercut.
That or Samuel L. Jackson.
Suck it hard, motherfucker!
Well, no, you already know. No, you already know what Sam Jackson be saying. You'd be like, put your mouth around that big.
Have we been banned from YouTube yet? Has YouTube just pulled us off the air? Is this still going? I don't know anymore.
but anyway, I'm just saying, most gay men not even guys who are into bears, just most gay men.
You awake tonight, Susan?
Are still on some level, binary in their perceptions, right? They trend to still think of themselves as dudes and act like dudes outside of a very select club scene that's into
Do they?
little skinny chickens. Okay? If I have to take the dick, or if I have to put my dick in somebody else, it's going to be a man if it's a man. Okay? It's not going to be like a skinny fucking nerd.
You don't want some like 27-inch twink?
I think
no.
And that's what I think that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. I mean, moving on to the Flash season 7 for the love of God, for the love of fucking God, let's move on to the Flash season 7.
Because church.
No more.
Because church. There's absolutely nothing homoerotic about guys in multicolored jumpsuits swinging around their lightsaber penises.
Oh, okay. All right, great segue. But first, we can't. That's the grand finale, Rune. That's the grand finale. We can't lead with that. We have to open with the Power Rangers.
Yeah, start with the Power Rangers.
We have to open with the Power Rangers of speed.
And the Green Ranger with his magic flute that he puts his mouth on.
Wait a minute, I gotta ask, because this brings it back around to where we started. Is it the Power Rangers of speed because they're on speed or because they have speed?
Both.
Okay.
All right,
so it's the Power Rangers of Ritalin.
God, can you guys see the stream? The image is up.
Yes, I can. Also, okay. Ritalin Rangers sounds amazing.
Yes, it does.
Somebody in Indie Comics, get on that.
Right. All right, so for those of you who don't know, the
chat popped out. I'm not looking at the stream. Hold on a second.
Wait a minute. Church, I gotta make sure I get this right. So we have original.
No. Let me do the rollout. I'll do the rollout.
I just have one question.
Ask me after I do the rollout.
Is it a bunch of people in super suits and then one bitch in just like a fucking pantsuit?
I'll get to that. Okay. So roll call. For the Power Rangers of Speed, the Ritalin Rangers, if you will. You've got Jay Garrick of Earth 2, the Flash. Okay. You've got Impulse.
Did they all only live to 27?
Oh God. You've got Impulse, the
they only live to 52.
In the Flash universe on television, Impulse and Excess are the children of Barry Allen and Iris West. They are actually his grandchildren in the comic continuity. Iris West has speed powers for God knows what fucking reason. You got Barry Allen, you got Excess, and then there on the end in the pantsuit with the handbag, Rune.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like a man in a wig. That's the Speed Force. This is an unflattering photo. That's the physical embodiment of the Speed Force that took the form of Barry's mother and calls him Dad.
What?
You know, when Marvel did Secret Wars and had the Beyonder become a female because they felt females were more peaceful, that was just as stupid.
I'm going to say it again. That in the pantsuit with the handbag is the Speed Force that took the form of Barry Allen's deceased mother, Nora Allen, and calls Barry Allen Dad because he created the Speed Force, therefore he's her father.
How did we loop back around to Chris Chan?
Oh my God!
No, but hold on. I have another question.
Look, please.
The chick to the left of Barry, right?
The one in between him and Pantsuit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Excess. That's Excess. Nora, his daughter.
Okay, his daughter. Why does she look like she just climbed out of the Scottish Highlands when Iris is black?
I think it has more to do with Puerto Ricans or something. I don't know.
What? Wait, what?
Well, no, Puerto Ricans are naturally redheaded sometimes.
Okay, that's not what I was talking about. It looks like she would get a sunburn from a lamp.
I mean, so would Barry.
Yeah, but why? But
bad casting.
But
Look,
Iris is
guys.
black. What?
It kind of looks. It looks more like his kid if he would have actually ended up boning the Parks woman from.
Look.
Flash.
If you eye down the line, you notice that even the people who are persons of color are reasonably light. So the obvious answer is that if you have the Speed Force, you can outrun melanin.
That's right. That's right. You can outrun discrimination with the Speed Force.
If only George Floyd was a little faster.
You awake yet, Susan?
Maybe that mural would have gotten struck.
Oh God. Yeah, it was the Flash. The Flash did it. All right, so here's my problem with the Speed Force Power Rangers. Okay,
I'm sorry, Lord Jesus, please forgive me. I apologize.
Be with the starving pygmies in New Guinea.
All right, continue.
We've been around one another for way too long. We need to get a divorce.
We really have. I need to text a bitch and have her come suck my cock while we finish.
That's right. Yeah, get some of the gay off of you.
Yeah, basically.
I have a question. Are you going to invite this young woman to your house, invite them to suck your dick, and be like, now pretend I'm Morgan Freeman?
No, he's just gonna watch Bruce Almighty.
He's just gonna watch True Facts about Morgan Freeman on repeat.
Yeah, beat off to anyway. The Power Rangers of Speed. Okay, first off, let's talk about Barry Allen for a minute. Okay, most powerful being in the DC universe. Mic drop. Barry Allen, or actually Wally West, but this Barry Allen is Wally West from the comic. So Barry Allen is he's the guy. Okay. Literally thinks in the amount of time it takes for one of us to blink, he lives an eon in his brain. Okay, he doesn't just move fast, he thinks fast, he reacts fast, he sees fast, he smells fast. Everything about him is faster than you can even possibly fathom. All right? Even when he's going slow. Why do you need 7 of these motherfuckers to stop a villain? Like, there's no villain. Like, if Flash can't do it, then 6 other speedsters will not fucking help.
But that's 6 times as fast.
No, Ayrton, it's not. not how that works.
But I wasn't good at math and
okay, yeah. Well, you and RuneKnight can not be on high school campuses together.
Well,
I never made a Columbine joke in 1997.
Look, Ayrton, do you have a black trench coat?
No, I have a brown one though.
Got to get a black trench coat, or we can't hang out together off school grounds.
Can I just spray paint it?
I guess.
Okay.
Here's my second problem with the Power Rangers of Speed, the Riddlin' Rangers, if you will. With that much speed, now in season 7, the big villain, surprise, surprise, is a speedster. Dun dun dun! Because they haven't done that in like 2 seasons, so it's time to bring it back. Because it really just didn't get played out enough the first 3 or 4 times they did it. So, the speedster, by the name Godspeed, has created multiple variants of himself to send back in time.
Wasn't he already in the show like 3 years ago?
No.
Who the fuck am I thinking of then?
I don't know. Well, maybe it was that long ago with COVID times. Who knows? He was introduced, but he's the big bad now.
Okay.
So
he had like a weird suit of armor and shit.
No, you're thinking about Savitar. The one that ended up being Barry. Yeah, the one that ended up being Barry.
Right.
No, this is somebody you've never seen before and will never see again.
Allegedly. Well,
here's the thing. With the first 2 speedster villains in Reverse Flash and Zoom, you actually had time to give a shit about the twist and the character arc and everything. More so with Reverse Flash, obviously. and then a little less so with Zoom. And then by the time they got to Savitar, everybody was like, "Yeah, it's just Barry. We know it's just Barry. We know it's Barry. Just to show us. Oh, by the way, it's Barry. Haha, we knew it was Barry." That was the whole gimmick. There just really wasn't anything to it anymore. And with Godspeed, it didn't really even seem like they tried to introduce him as having a personality outside of just showing up being a villain. They just did a lot of gimmicky shit with him. I saw that in chat. The moment had passed.
Yeah.
So every one of these motherfuckers that you see on screen right now, they can generate lightning weapons now. You remember how hard it was for Barry to throw lightning in season 2? And now not only are they able to harness lightning, but form it into shurikens, a lasso, channel it into...
Wait.
Yeah, Impulse throws lightning shurikens at people.
I mean, that's a cool ass fucking weapon. I wish I could do that, but what?
Yeah, he's not Static Shock at all. Like, don't get Static Shock vibes from this Flash character. We definitely were not reminiscing about Static Shock.
Not at all. No.
We just had to throw some lightning shurikens in here because we had Impulse. So yeah, but there's also a lightning whip. Jay Garrick channels his lightning into his helmet. And then we have the worst offense of all, which was obviously pointed out earlier by our buddy RuneKnight there and his perfect little segue that he did. Barry realizes that he can't beat Zoom on his own. So what does he do? He summons Eobard Thawne to help him fight this final climactic battle with Zoom, with Godspeed rather. He gets Reverse Flash from season 1, his arch nemesis Eobard Thawne, the guy that killed his mother, to come fight Godspeed with him. And what do? They form lightning into fucking lightsabers and have a fucking sword fight. The 3 most prolific goddamn speedsters in the goddamn DC universe, and they're not running, they're not jumping into the air, they're not fucking fighting off the sides of buildings, they're not throwing lightning at one another at super speed, they're not throwing 100-mile-an-hour punches, they're having a fucking lightsaber fight, and it makes me fucking furious!
Can we talk about Chris Chan again?
No.
The thing that makes this worse is not actually the lightsabers. Oddly enough, lightsabers bad. I'll freely give you, and it's like this was stupid and lazy. But I've seen other clips with other speed-based energy weapons, like chucking energy nunchucks or ninja stars and shit.
Yeah.
And that is also even more fucking lazy.
Mm-hmm.
The concept. I hate the Speed Force. Okay, I hate the idea of speed.
I'm actually getting to that. I think we can. I think we're going to the same place. So
we can talk about kinetic energy as a fundamental later. But what I was going to get at is that there's nothing superior about an energy bolt that cannot also be done by Barry's fist moving at speed.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, why would you want to use a lightsaber when you can just vibrate your hand so fast that you can chop through an opponent like a supersonic saw?
Yeah.
But I saw that it was a lightsaber fight from some stupid, it's 3 a.m, I'm drunk, I'm watching YouTube, getting ready to go to bed, and I just scroll through this review of The Flash, and I'm like, I haven't caught up on The Flash, let's see how they fucked it up. And I saw this, and it was so fucking unforgivable. It was just, it sobered me up, gentlemen. I saw this, and I got so mad that I got sober.
Like you could have operated heavy machinery?
Yes!
God damn.
It pissed me off that fucking much, because I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, You have budgets where you're paying people millions of dollars an episode, and this is what it's for.
Clearly, Revenge of the Sith and thought that was the Star Wars to replicate.
You didn't watch the... You know what? Zoom does have 2 lightsabers by the end of the fight. Or not Zoom. Godspeed. Godspeed has 2 lightsabers by the end of the fight. And wouldn't you fucking know it?
Sabers.
Yes. Wouldn't you fucking know it? Reverse Flash turns evil and stabs him. Damn near kills him. Who the fucking does that?
Wait a minute.
The villain actually did something bad?
Thawne! No!
Bad Thawne! We thought you were done doing that!
No.
You know.
See, what they need is a lightsaber that's also a rolled up newspaper.
But then at that point...
Don't do that on the speed.
Like, that's not even the worst part, though, guys. Because after Thawne stabs Godspeed, he confronts Barry and attacks him, right? And then Barry just completely fucking outclasses him with the Speed Force. So what you just did, let me just break that down for anybody who doesn't understand how viewing audiences work, okay? You just showed us the most god-awful piece of television, superhero, anything that had the Flash's name on it since the conception of the show with this goddamn lightning saber fight. But you're pushing the point that Godspeed is such a formidable opponent that Barry had to rely on calling in his nemesis, Eobard Thawne, for help, while having 6 other speedsters that could be helping, but he made them stay back so that they didn't get hurt. But he brought Thawne in, and then after they defeat Godspeed, he completely outclasses Thawne, thereby just destroying any premises of the need for having Thawne there. Therefore, Thawne being there and stabbing Godspeed is Barry's fucking fault. He could have stopped Godspeed without Thawne. Thawne wouldn't have stabbed Godspeed, and Barry wouldn't have this moral conflict, and he also wouldn't have had to go through stupid fucking lightsaber fight. I don't. It's not rational how angry this makes me. I know that.
The very notion of the Speed Force is stupid. Not that it's intelligent. That's dumb. Not that it's reactive. That's dumb. But the very idea that kinetic energy gets so fast as to become its own motive force in the universe.
Sentient life force, yes.
Yeah. Right? And that it can be harnessed only by the best speedsters as an infinite fucking Hail Mary Super Saiyan move.
I was talking to Mrs. Church about this while I was ranting and raving about the Flash, because my interest in this particular topic has sparked a rewatching of the Flash in my household. Mm-hmm. So, we've been going through, I think I'm up to season 2.5 now of the Flash, rewatching it. And every time I see something now that just doesn't make fucking sense, I'm calling it out. And it's so much. It's such a fucking inconsistent character.
Well,
literally every episode of The Flash should be 1 minute and 30 seconds long. The villain shows up. Barry's alerted to the fact that the villain showed up. Barry shows up, takes the villain by surprise, punches them in the back of the head, and carries them to Star Labs into a cell. End of fucking show.
Well, see, that's the thing, is
that doesn't make good television.
Modern creators have this propensity for ignoring media that came before them. Right? We can't think about the other medium, we can't refer to the other medium, we can't be familiar with the other medium, because we're going to make our own mark with our own style and our own Flash with hookers and blackjack, and it's going to be great. Because if you want to see, hey, what's the Flash like? You watch the Bruce Timm animated series where Flash appears, the Batman Adventures, Justice League. Okay, Barry's primary power is not that he's fast; it's that he's fucking decent.
You remember when Lex Luger got switched, or not? Yeah, Lex Luthor
and has no idea who he is,
and he reveals like, "Time to find out who the Flash really is." And he looks in the mirror. He's like, "I have no idea who this is."
Well, that was Wally, though.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, still, but it's still
Wally
and
Barry. Real quick, Rune. Wally and Barry Ayrton are interchangeable in Flash media because Barry Allen was dead for 18 years, but when you search the Flash on Wikipedia, Barry Allen's the first name that comes up, and TV writers are unable to distinguish what the popular character's fucking name is.
No,
It's still a
that's fucking bullshit. Because the first Flash story I ever read as a kid, I think I was like 8 or 9, was the Quick and the Dead, which Barry Allen was dead, and it was Wally West trying to save everybody and fucking fails.
Okay,
Right,
the Flash always fails. Like that's
yes,
the premise of the
but
Flash.
no, it was Wally West, and he was a distinct character to Barry at that point.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, that bullshit. No, it's bullshit. Fuck that.
The important point, though, is that
they can suck my left nut and make my right nut jealous. You goddamn hack writers.
A Flash story is not about the Flash being fast. Everybody knows the Flash is fast. Everyone knows that the Flash is going to be exactly as fast as the plot requires.
Right.
But
no faster.
A Flash story is about how Flash interacts with people to help people, because he's the superhero among the walking gods of the DC universe that remembers what it is to be human.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I understand that.
The thing is that if we're using Bruce Timm's storytelling as our benchmark, the one time they brought up the Speed Force, the one time that it was used in an episode, right, it was strongly implied that, like, no, you don't want to go that fast. Because if you merge with the Speed Force just fucking consumes you. Because it's always faster than you are. And you get swept away in it. Right? The Speed Force should be a thing of power, certainly, but also a thing of abject terror to anyone who claims to quote-unquote be a speedster. You can go right up to the edge of Speed Force, but don't cross the line because the Speed Force wins.
Yeah.
Right? So just making Barry Allen the fucking avatar of the Speed Force who can Speed Force anytime he wants to Speed Force, means that no conflict exists ever for anything. Superman can fucking retire. Because the Flash is here.
Exactly. He can literally go through time and pinpoint every crime that has ever happened and single-handedly stop them. And be home for dinner.
I mean, my first exposure to the Flash in comics, okay, was he had a girlfriend. She had short hair, dark hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the antagonist was
if this was Wally, it was probably Linda Parks.
Probably. But it was Vandal Savage was the antagonist. And they somehow caught the Flash, because sometimes you can get the Flash unawares, get him knocked out, what have you.
Yeah.
And they injected him with battery acid.
Well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the Flash was basically tripping out, and he was running so fast, uncontrolled, that he was causing sonic booms and destroying property, because he had to keep running or he was going to die. Okay? And it's like, this is a pretty good story, because not only does it actually illustrate that the Flash is an intelligent human being, but he has frailties and weaknesses, and his powers don't always help. And he can be outdone by smart people.
There are a couple of episodes that do a good job of doing that, but every time one of the writers chooses to come on and say, okay, well, the Flash knows that there's a villain, knows that there are lives at stake, and stop to chit-chat instead of just, I don't know, grabbing them while they have no clue what's happening and running them into a cell at Star Labs. It makes me want to scream every time I see it. And I understand good writing needs things to happen. Well, just don't have the Flash in those scenes. Like, have them cause shit happening and have the Flash being too slow and have that be his reason for, being faster and having to do better and all this shit. Is that he keeps staying one step behind and having to clean up the mess instead of actually stopping them. But instead, you have him stop and chit-chat while people shoot, and then, I'm going to stop all these bullets, and, oh no, my villains run 10 yards away. The fastest man in the world, can't catch them.
Sylvester Stallone did something that was stupid at the time, but has become true. Okay? Famously, Sylvester Stallone was asked, way back when, what he thought of Batman 89. Okay? And he said that it was the end of filmmaking. And his rationale was that Batman 89 only had to look like Batman, it only had to look like comics to be successful. It didn't have to be a good movie. Right? Now, of course, he's wrong. Batman 89 is an amazing movie. Right? But if we're
Yeah, every
talking about
time Michael
over-
Keaton had to turn side to side, like he had to turn his entire torso.
Yeah.
But
Here's the thing, though. Over time, he's
and the bat
become right.
nipples.
Over time, though, he's become right. The Flash show doesn't have to be good. The Flash show just has to have Flash go fast, and people will treat it like it's good.
Well, Sim in the chat is saying that the Flash TV
I get
series
it.
in the '90s was so much fucking better than the.
I mean, it was
the
also
one.
cheesier as shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it felt more like what I would want. Like if the. All right, this is a part of a wider branching problem, and we could probably cap the segment after this. But the CW is its own biggest enemy when producing these TV shows because what they do is teenage relationship dramas, and they have to insert that in shit like the Arrow and the Flash to keep their formula to it and to keep their writers employed. But by doing that, you end up with the predicament of, okay, well, now we either always have to have Iris and Barry on again, off again, or they have to be in a fight because one of them doesn't like what the other one did, or blah, 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 blah. Like, it becomes a relationship drama. And like you were saying, the 90s one was a lot cheesier, and it didn't focus on shit like that. Like, yeah, Barry just kind of like had a girl here and there. And then there was Iris.
This is why I argue that the CW verse is dead and has been dead since Arrow season 2. Right? First and foremost, segue for just a second. I really find it funny that the best and last good Arrow arc is just a ripped off Batman story.
Oh, with Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah, because they just did Son of the Demon. Okay? But more importantly, structurally, that story, right, was good, right? Here you have Oliver taking the hit for his sister because it's his sister, knowing everyone's gonna hate him, knowing he's gonna die, because that's what heroes do, and he goes up on that mountain and he fucking fights Ra's al Ghul, and he makes a good showing. But Ra's al Ghul is playing with him, because it's fucking Ra's al Ghul who's been mastering the sword for hundreds of years.
Right.
Right? And he died. He died and was kicked off that mountain. And if you're smart and you like Arrow, stop there.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretend the rest of the series didn't happen. It was the short, glorious, tragic life of Oliver Queen trying to find redemption.
And he found it fighting to the death with Ra's al Ghul.
Right. Because everything after that, it's not that it's superhero glitch, it's that everything is the secondary characters taking over the show and shitting on Oliver for not being perfect. Because that's what everybody did in that entire show. Well, you're supposed to be a hero. Well, I am. But you're not a good enough hero. Well, I'm human. Well, that's real convenient. While I shit on you, I'm going to go walk away and make you think about this. And then you're going to come back and suck up to your not girlfriend because we're going to ship Stephen Amell and Felicity Smoke. And it's like, they completely fucked a good thing for 30-year-old soccer moms who get wet looking at a young guy's chest, right? And I always assumed, I tried watching Flash, I really did, but I've always assumed that basically every subsequent show is like that. Every subsequent show is more bullshit.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I only watch the Arrow and the Flash and a little bit of Legends of Tomorrow just because Snart's amazing.
Legends of Tomorrow, I actually kind of enjoyed that.
The only reason I might watch Legends of Tomorrow is because I want to see Michael Ironside be the old Captain Cold.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Well, because Michael Ironside's in it, and Michael Ironside's amazing. He's a great character actor and always plays a good villain. But yeah, no, I didn't watch Flash. I didn't watch Black Lightning.
Allison Pell in the chat's DC screwing things up. I'm shocked. Shocked, I'd say.
So because I'm an idiot, right? Like I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah.
And I don't really watch TV. When Arrow first came out,
yeah,
I didn't realize it was Green Arrow at first. I thought it was just like a modern day Robin Hood story.
Oh, that's why it's great.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea until I saw a trailer that said like DC presents. I was like, oh, it's fucking Green Arrow.
Well, not a lot of people are
1,000 times more sense.
Yeah, not a lot of people really gave a shit about Green Arrow until the Arrowverse. Now, subsequently, I do want to say, like, one thing that pissed me off about the Arrowverse that has nothing to do with the television show whatsoever, really.
Okay.
They'll play a card game, right? Called DC deck building game.
We're gonna get around to that, yeah.
One of the add-on sets for it was for the Arrowverse. Now, the average card in this game is it got like comic art, right? Like it's a comic book panel, or it's comic inspired artwork, or it's drawn. It's very, very DC house stylish, and all of the artwork in this one set, these 30 some odd extra cards that go in any deck you want to play them, are all screen caps from the show.
Because it's cheap.
Are you serious?
It's cheap.
Yeah, they couldn't even be bothered to go through Green Arrow comics and pick out some panels that would probably work. They just use screen caps from the show, and it doesn't fit when you try and play the cards in any other, like, it just, oh god, it's horrible. And I blame Cryptozoic for this. Yeah, Cryptozoic was cheap in producing them, I'm sure.
Here's the thing. Everybody talks about how tired they are of Batman's origin story, right?
Yeah.
But part of that is that when you watch media, you very rarely find anything that actually does Batman's origin. And I don't mean the shooting, right? I mean
his training, his upbringing, his inner conflict. Like the Christopher Nolan movies were the first media to do that since the animated series, right?
Right. And even then, it's still in flashpoints. It's not like, look, we're going to dedicate an entire season. It's not like we're going to dedicate an entire season to Batman in Asia learning how to ninja.
Well, to be fair, I mean, year one kind of did that, and even then, it was just the year one of Batman being Batman and flashback to the training that prepared him for it.
But that's the thing.
Like,
what made
I don't think there is a full season for Batman's backstory, because then there would be holes in how good he is at things. Like, Batman is supposed to be the best at everything. Like, Arrow, I think I get the point you're getting to, is the Arrow is more realistic and you can actually follow.
No, it's not that.
Story.
It's that the reason Arrow was good.
Wait. Arrow is not realistic. As somebody who practices archery fairly regularly, you cannot do the shit that he does in that show.
No, it's not even that, because you want to talk about quote unquote, I don't kill people, but I'm going to ruin their lives by shooting them in the fucking kneecap and destroying their shin. We can do that all day. No, what I'm talking about is
you can't.
The reason Arrow was good, okay, was that they said, we're going to take an entire season, the first season, as an arc, and dedicate it to his origin story, right? So here you have him living life and doing all the emotional shit that's kind of and doing some early vigilante stuff that's kind of neat, and then, they intersperse it with these flashbacks that's like, this is the kind of piece of shit he was. This is how he ended up on the fucking prison island. This is all the weird shit he ran into. And then it's like, oh cool, he got off the prison island, yay! So what happened? Oh, I just ended up in fucking, mainland China, working for the fucking Suicide Squad, with the tong. And it's like, oh man, his background is so much deeper. He's done so much more nefarious, fucking crazy shit, right? And it was like, no, this was good. And then it was all wrapping around, because it came back around with the Deathstroke arc. And it's like, oh man, Green Arrow versus Deathstroke, two experts in their fields fighting over, ethics and morals and fucking background. And then it's
almost as promising a story as like Captain America versus Taskmaster in a good comic.
Right. And then they're like, oh, by the way, having done all this, we're going to kick this to the side because we're just going to give the show over to the B team and have Ollie get killed. And it's like, okay. And then it's like, oh wait, no, Ollie lived. He's going to recover. Awesome. And it's like, wait a minute, how long does his recovery take? 1.5 episodes.
No, we gotta kill him again in Crisis, though. Don't forget.
Well, yeah, but that's another thing. Entirely different subject for different podcasts. I personally feel doing Crisis on Infinite Earths as a TV show miniseries was a bad idea. That's clearly movie material. That's big time. Do Crisis on Infinite Earths as a fucking trilogy of films. Give it the Avengers treatment, or don't do it at all. But
Okay. Can we bring up the DC EU for a second? So a coworker of mine who's about on the same level of like comic books, like kind of a more casual reader of comics like I am.
Filthy casual.
Yeah, he was like, did you see the Suicide Squad? They're bringing in Starro. He's like, you love Starro. I was like, yeah, I love fucking Starro, but I want it with Green Lantern, Aquaman. You know, Batman,
Martian fucking Manhunter.
Dude, I want the fucking Flash to run Starro to death. I don't want some goddamn fucking bullshit that they're gonna pull for this goddamn bullshit Suicide Squad movie, because the first movie was so good. You know, I didn't want to shove a bread knife up my cock while I was watching that goddamn movie. You know, nothing like that.
Well, yeah, but now we have Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone can lick my ass.
Yeah, but now we have Sylvester Stallone being Vin Diesel saying, "I am Groot Shark." Aren't you excited for Groot Shark and John Cena?
No, not at all. John Cena's a fucking twat. He sat there and apologized to China in Chinese in his fucking like Hyundai Shao Shao He Hyundai.
Look,
hold on, wait, no,
all right.
No, I saw some set photos and I didn't see John Cena anywhere.
I hate you so much.
Here's the thing.
But no,
here's the thing.
No, hold on. I'm not done yet.
All right.
If Starro shows up, I want 1962 cheesy as fuck goddamn Justice League comic book where the Flash runs a Starro clone to death, and the Green Lantern has to make a construct of himself to keep flying his fucking jet around.
It has to be Ryan Reynolds.
The fucking Earth.
It has to be Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
Yes. No, it does. And
you gotta get John Wesley Shipp as Flash. Fucking Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern.
Yes.
Get Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yes.
Dig up Christopher Reeve.
I want the bat nipples. Fucking do your fucking CGI bullshit for Christopher Reeve so he can fucking stand up and be alive again. He's dead, right?
Christopher Reeve, yes.
Before I continue. Yes, so he's fucking alive again and can fucking stand on his own two legs. I want cheesy dialogue, and I want the fucking Justice League to defeat Starro and these fucking assholes that are making this goddamn Suicide Squad because the law's so random.
Oh, no, we gotta get Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin in this movie.
This is why fucking Adam West, Ryan Reynolds, fucking CGI, fucking whatever the fuck is nuts.
What, Linda Carter, wasn't that Wonder Woman?
Too many breeze.
Wasn't that?
We all know
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter. Yes, Linda Carter. Whatever the fuck. De-age those fuckers. Give her some perky ass tits and a huge ass. I don't give a fuck. Don't put it in this goddamn dog shit Suicide Squad movie where Will Smith is playing the same goddamn fucking character again.
No, Will Smith isn't playing. It's Idris Elba,
which is worse.
I don't give a fuck.
It's Heimdall. Heimdall can see everything.
Will Smith, Idris Elba, I don't give a fuck. It's the same goddamn person. It's going to be the same goddamn movie, but with a fucking starfish in it.
Oh, there's an interesting concept. Idris Elba is a time-traveling Will Smith from the future.
Well, clearly he's a Time Lord.
That's
and
my
really
point exactly. You're ruining my favorite fucking supervillain in all of DC Comics.
Oh, Ayrton, may I throw gasoline on this fire for you?
No. Do you want me to
Go ahead, Rune.
Church, may I throw gasoline on this fire?
All the gasoline.
So I will sometimes read terrible things because I have friends who enjoy other media, and I want to be up to snuff, among other things. So I have read the Ruby DC crossover. Why is there a DC Ruby crossover?
I swear, I just contracted COVID from yelling about this goddamn movie.
So here's the thing:
the Chinese got him.
In the Ruby DC crossover,
yeah,
all of the DC Justice League characters are replicated as Ruby canonical characters due to setting fuckery. So you have adult characters from other media hitting on teenage characters from Ruby, which seems really inappropriate. And it turns out to all be the fault of, you guessed it, Starro. Starro is possessing monsters in Ruby and making super problems.
What?
And that requires Ruby and the Justice League to work together.
Okay, it's bad. Okay, you mean Ruby like the RWBY, like that dog shit?
Yes,
that fucking bullshit that people think is good?
For that short period where Warner Brothers owned Rooster Teeth, yes.
I don't think I have enough strength yet to yell about how much Rooster Teeth is retarded and the writers have no sense of comic timing whatsoever.
It's fucking awful. They end up fighting Starro on a beach because obviously Starro's hiding in the ocean because obviously Starro's a starfish.
No, he's hiding in a goddamn lake and the Flash runs around in a fucking circle to lift water up and drop it on Starro and runs him to death. That's how he dies. Fuck Rooster Teeth. Fuck Warner Brothers. They can lick my ass.
No, he had to be captured by Girl Green Lanterns to take them back to their own dimension.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He's an endangered species or some shit.
I don't give a fuck. Pandas are fucking endangered and they should be extinct. Literally, the goddamn species cannot survive without us forcing them to fuck and then forcing them to eat to survive.
Ayrton has gone
fucking animals.
Ayrton has gone full Chuck Palahniuk.
Fuck the goddamn pandas. I want to eat a panda sirloin tonight, motherfuckers. I don't give a shit. Pandas are useless animals.
How many beers does it take
on their fucking own?
How many beers does it take to transform into the author of Fight Club, Ayrton?
Same with goddamn Starro. I want him to die in ridiculous fucking ways like the goddamn pandas, and how dare you ruin the best supervillain in DC history for me, you fucking assholes. I'm going to beat you with the fucking Rambone. Every single one of you goddamn DC executives. I'm going to come to California. I'm going to hitchhike there because you can't take a fucking flight anymore unless you have the fucking COVID shot, which I'm not getting. I'm going to hitchhike down there with a fucking dildo sword, and I'm going to beat all of you until you make a goddamn movie of the DC universe that's actually fucking good.
Tell us how you feel about Alan Moore.
I hate you so much.
So Alan Moore should write the next Starro book. Is what you're saying?
It would be fucking better than this.
No, shit. Starfish peanuts.
Yes. I would take multiple starfish penises up my rectum instead of watching the goddamn bullshit that they're trying to put out right now.
Church, fucking take note. Ayrton just admitted he would rather have a DC book by Alan Moore about Starro putting starfish penis in the Justice League than watch another bad Snyderverse film.
Yes, I would.
I think everybody would, actually.
And speaking of bad films, let's move on to Scarjo and Disney.
Oh, man. Well, that's actually a great topic to end on, because we got like 5 minutes left. But,
and my voice hurts from yelling.
You can't hang with the big dogs, Ayrton.
Hey, I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking starfish gay. You fucking assholes.
Ayrton, you got to cut down on that D&D, man. You're getting angry.
I do. Fucking clockwork elves. Hey, next. By the way, Rune.
You're on fucking fire tonight, bro.
Rune, next tabletop game we play, I want to be a clockwork elf.
I mean, I can make that happen in this game, but I don't think you want it.
Well, no. That's why I said next. I've already lost a fucking arm. Settle down.
No, you didn't lose it. It just became detached for a little while.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's now held on by fairy dust and wire.
Yeah. So anyway, so Scarjo, my waifu.
You're right. She's suing the shit out of Disney because they apparently promised her that her movie would be theatrical release and like exclusive, and she'd get a cut of the box office. But then they released it on Disney Plus with without cutting her in on that deal, alongside with the box office.
Well, I mean, I'm not making excuses for Disney because I'm not one of those simps that's like, let's defend the faceless corporation. Okay. But we all know why they had to do that.
Well, yeah,
because they got their not only because of the COVID, but they got their preliminary numbers and said, "Oh shit, this is not going to make back its investment."
Yeah, but the thing is they still have a contractual obligation to Scarlett Johansson.
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. I hope she wins. She deserves it.
They would have come out cheaper just taking the loss, I think.
What I don't like is people who are trying to Me Too this, and like the idea that the lead for the film Cruella is like, well, maybe I should see Disney too. It's like, well, fuck you.
You're not Scarjo, bitch. You're not Scarjo, and you didn't have the kind of clout she did because Robert Downey Jr. had it. Never mind.
No. Tell me more.
Now this is a fanfic I'm writing for you. I'm not writing this ship for you, Rune. You're the writer. But no. So she's suing Disney for like $50 million, and I honestly think it would have been cheaper for Disney, and Scarlett Johansson wouldn't have got near as much money if they would have just stuck to their original agreement and just put it out on Disney Plus like 2 weeks later. Like, Disney would have made more money, I think, because announcing that they're going to put it out on Disney Plus 2 weeks after theatrical releases, people will, instead of buying tickets, just wait for it to come out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Besides, there aren't that many fucking theaters to go see it in anyway. But anyway, I hope she wins. I hope she takes them to fucking cleaners, and fuck that Cruella bitch for trying to bandwagon off her shine.
I want to be clear. We're supporting her on the premise that let me be clear. We're supporting her on the premise that she deserves it because contractually she deserves it. Right. We are not simultaneously also embracing her bullshit, talking about how, well, I was in Iron Man, but I really didn't like it because I felt like a piece of ass. It's like, yeah, you profiteered off being a piece of ass for 10 years.
You are a piece of ass. That's what you are as an actress. A piece of ass. Get over it.
It's not even that. It's literally she made her career on
by being a piece of ass.
Yeah. Now you're wealthy, now you're powerful. Great. Use that to make it better for other women actors. Do not also try to bite the hand that feeds you on your way out.
Yeah, lick my unshaved taint, you fucking cunt.
Well, if DC is sucking one nut, clearly you want Scarjo sucking the other. So
no,
he wants Morgan Freeman on the dick, Scarjo on the balls.
Sam Jackson narrating. Haven't you kept up?
Yeah.
No. No. Listen. Disney's sucking the one nut. Samuel Jackson is on the cock, and fucking Scarjo is painting the taint. All right. And I swear to God, if you've never had your taint painted,
Man, all
It's
I'm gonna
fucking
say-
wonderful.
All I'm gonna
That's
say
why I
is-
have a bidet.
I'm just saying your loins seem to be extremely busy.
They
and
are.
they gotta be like putting the Sistine Chapel on there or something. What the fuck?
You know it's close.
It's just a picture of
This
the
stream
Dukes
gave
of
me
Hazzard
cancer.
jumping
Good night,
that bridge.
everybody. This stream gave me cancer. Good night, everybody.